and welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Tom Fornelli. That's Bud Elliott. I'm Chip Patterson, coming to you live at youtube.com/cover3 and ever get your podcast on demand. Thanks for hanging out. Smash that subscribe, smash that like, and come and join us in the chat, a.k.a. the Cover 3 tailgate, where I'm seeing a lot of great suggestions, great suggestions. Like maybe one of the fallouts from today is that we sort of change our pacing with these weekly ranking releases. We'll see. I mean, Bud, it seems like you've been active on the social medias right now. Have you been?
Yeah, good engagement. Good engagement. Looks like Alabama.
Hold on. Have you been out there on the North 40 in the engagement farm, like plowing the fields?
Hey, man, you know what? This is like farming, right? Like we plant the seeds all off season. In the season, we harvest, guys, and it is harvest season. Somebody harvested all of the Bama yes to make the playoff across the exchanges for pretty big money. So I think that leaked, and that's done. By the way,
I wasn't ready to predict.
FanDuel went to I think minus 650 before they pulled it.
I was not ready at any point, and honestly, because we were just talking 10, 11 hours ago, this all feels like one continuous conversation. Thankfully, I have showered and eaten, but I have not showered, have eaten. I don't think that we at any point really entertained that for 2 years in a row, Alabama would be the first team out, right?
No.
Okay. Because there is the SEC championship game loser can't be out, which I know is another part of the conversation, but there's also the Alabama specific. Are you really going to leave Alabama as the first team out 2 years in a row?
And the Greg Sankey specific, because he is the guy who wants to keep conference championship games the most from what the reporting suggests. So, if you believe that he would have to give his blessing for them to leave Alabama out, and I do, I don't think he's going to give that blessing, unless him and Petiti are way closer on stuff than is to be believed.
Tom, how's our headspace? How are we feeling?
I can't wait to have this be over and have a field everybody will agree on.
Listen, we'll have a bracket. We'll have games. I woke up excited. Now, was that excitement because this is the end of a long national nightmare? I don't know.
Yes.
Or was it excitement
because
was it excitement because we will have a bracket, we will have dates, we will know? This was something that my broken brain was thinking about as I was laying my head on the pillow. Who gets the Friday night game? Because I think we know the sites, right? Like, I think we will have a home game in Eugene. I think we will have a home game in Norman. I think we will have a home game in Oxford. I think we will have a home game in College Station.
I'm going to guess Oxford or College Station.
For the Friday night?
Yeah, just because that would be probably the best weather-ish.
We'll see. Norman, Oklahoma on Friday night in mid-December could be a doozy, buddy. Like if you want to, so could Eugene. Yeah, if you want to go and set up some low-scoring, bare knuckle brawl, hands bleeding out there, there could be some interesting conditions, as they say, with this the selection of who, because the difference between a Friday night game and playing Saturday at noon. Big difference. That is going to be some of the information that we're going to get. Not only who the first round matchups are, but the one game that will be on Friday night, December 19th, the 3 games that will be on Saturday, December 20th to make up our on-campus first round games. Before we get out of here, just as a little run of show for everyone who's checking out the show on youtube.com/cover3, we very much appreciate you. We're going to have a little bit of a casual hangout watch along until we actually get this bracket done. We'll hit a break and do a reset for our audio listeners. They'll be a little bit cleaner with some, more incisive reaction or previews for the first round games. And then before we get out of here, we will game out the bracket, each of us offering our rip the Band-Aid off, first glance thought of the way that this whole thing will play out. So exciting times here in the college football world. Anything... what other sort of stray curiosities have you had as we've been counting down to this much awaited reveal of the college football playoff?
Really, just who's going to get in?
Yeah.
What are the exchanges saying about Duke and James Madison?
So Poly is trading Duke and Miami exactly the same, 22-21 roughly right now, unless it updated. No, just yeah, okay, 22-21. So basically like dead even dog percentages here. Kalshi's 23% Miami, 1% Duke. So not a lot of liquidity there right now, it looks like. Unless that yeah, so not much.
I don't know what that means, but
I love this sport. I love what we're doing with sports right now. We're using humans to decide playoff fields, and we're treating
they leave it up, right? The sports books take it down at noon. So like those are the only two things we can be looking at right now, and unless FanDuel's reposted, which I don't think they have. No, the tab's gone.
Yeah, they could still throw us a curveball. I still think these Duke Blue Devils could wind up in there at that 12 spot. Ain't no way the market would have
just because Bama got bet hard does not mean we know with absolute certainty all of the others, right? Like somebody could have leaked Bama to allow them to get bet, but not the full bracket. You don't need all the answers to tests to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on Brent Pry back at Virginia Tech?
I get it, man. I get it. You don't have to move. Your family, you don't have to pack up your family and move, and you're still going to get paid a lot of money.
It's kind of a nice position for Brent Pry.
Yeah, it's not. You didn't get fired. You got demoted.
Yeah.
It's happened. People have been there before. Could happen to anyone.
Those tears of James Franklin sowed the seed for Brent Pry to be respected in Blacksburg, even for all of the colossal one-score losses in a row. Got Saban on TV. What?
I just wish we didn't have to talk to all the talking heads before we. I mean, this is no disrespect to Nick Saban, greatest college football coach of all time, or Kirk Herbstreit, but I don't really need to hear their opinions right now. I would just like to hear the teams.
Anthony in the tailgate says, do you think conferences should bring back divisions?
Yeah, I see. The thing is, I think that would help with scheduling. I don't know if it would eliminate the problem that we saw, because we saw in years with divisions where 4-loss teams were winning their division and still going. I think I wrote the column this morning. It's on cbssports.com. You can go read it or just click on it and let it sit there for about 30 seconds before you close the window. But I think that, and I've mentioned it on the show, I just wrote the column. These leagues need to all start using college football playoff rankings as a tiebreaker. Head-to-head should be number one, and then if there's a 4-way tie or 3-way tie between schools, it should all be based on your college football playoff ranking, because if you're going to sell out the sport for the college football playoff, you need to maximize your ability. It's just being smart to get teams into the college football playoff. So like last night's SEC championship game, you could argue should have been Georgia and Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. Because that way the SEC would have been guaranteed of 5 teams getting in. Now they're not so sure. They might only get 4. The ACC could have been Miami and Virginia. They would have gotten 1 in, and it would have solved the whole Miami-Notre Dame debate. So I think every league going forward needs to add that. It's just good business at this point.
I will push back on one very small, you can get over this technicality, because you and I are seeing it the same. But I think we've got the example already in existence with the Mountain West. The Mountain West just makes it so easy. If the tied teams did not all play each other, right? Like, you can have a little bit of crossover, but if it's a 2-way tie, you've got to have head-to-head. If it's a 3-way tie, all 3 teams need to have all played each other. And in the case of what we saw in the Mountain West this year, a 4-way tie, all of them need to have played each other, and that did not happen. And you know what you do? You go right to the analytical average. And the analytical average you can calculate on Sunday morning. You don't have to wait for a Tuesday rankings release. So like from a logistical perspective, I would assume it would eliminate your outlier 4-loss, 5-loss team, but you would not have to necessarily wait or put the onus on the committee for that. So I like the Mountain West way that they do their tiebreakers, because it is on the field. It's not all the computers, but if we are going to start running calculations and trying to figure out opponents' winning percentage, no, forget that. Let's just talk about not not what these other teams did. Let's just talk about what you did this year. And I think that can be represented by the analytical average.
That's fine, but I don't think waiting until Tuesday is that big of a deal, especially if you're playing the game at a neutral site that everybody already knows.
I agree, but if we're going to be doing the hang up on somebody, well, are you going to wait till Wednesday to even get your equipment truck on the road?
Oh no.
I'm just saying, I think that is, I think that I agree with you, and I just wanted to at least offer that other piece of the other piece of the picture.
Shout out Marty Smith. He's not sitting in the van anymore.
Did you hear Marty Smith telling the story on McAfee about driving around the fire trucks and the security to go meet Lane Kiffin up on the top of a hill? He said, I was driving that loaf of bread. We were bottoming out. I was jumping over hills. And you know what he said? He said, I went Bo Duke on that thing, which, by the way, I don't know how many of the children out there watched Dukes of Hazzard growing up. I did. And the idea of Marty channeling Dukes of Hazzard with that big white loaf of bread van and just bottoming out over hills, trying to fly through to the Oxford, the runway at the Oxford airport. It's a good story. Enjoyed that.
If you want an update, somebody bet Bama no really, or traded Bama no really hard on both about a minute ago. Trauma. It is wild seeing these be left up.
Okay.
I think it's great for transparency, but it is wild. It's very new.
Yeah, and again, just to my experience, I think of last year was that Bama's odds were very heavy in until right around leak o'clock. And then all of a sudden it got taken down.
2 years ago, FSU was minus 800 and closed plus 260. So that definitely got leaked to somebody.
Was it minus 800 in and then flipped the other way?
Yeah, a tremendous flip.
All right, we got Molly and Durham. Let's go. Oh, Duke must not think
so. I do think that you can't really read into where they send their A crews, because Molly was already in Charlotte, right?
Yes.
So they wouldn't fly Molly after the 8:15 kickoff game that went to overtime to a different city. So I don't read into her being at Duke as a sign that Duke's in. No,
what I read into is that Duke decided they're not going to have the team get together to watch it.
Also, for travel reasons, how are you going to get her to any of these other cities that are actually what's the latest flight out of Charlotte that you could get her to? She could drive overnight to Athens, I guess, right? But we already know Georgia's in.
Who cares?
No, people are hey, they read into this because they do read into it. Where they send Marty, they're not sending Marty Smith to a team that doesn't make the playoff.
This is your boy Michael Alford's fault.
No doubt.
When he said in the
he's not wrong on everything. He's wrong on a lot, but he's not wrong on everything. He was right. When they sent what's his name?
Dana Boyle's at James Madison. They got no shot. I don't even know who Dana Boyle is.
So when your boy, Florida State Athletic Director Michael Alford, said in a story and sent a really unfair stray at our friend Harry Lyles, said, I knew when Harry got sent to us, we weren't getting in.
Did he know Harry Lyle's name?
I don't remember.
I don't think he used his name. I just think he's I
remember
when
Harry
I saw who they sent to us.
Oh, man. So, yeah, and remember, these are principles. Strength of schedule, head-to-head competition, comparative outcomes of common opponents, and the unavailability of key players and coaches, or that will likely affect postseason performance. They're just principles. They're not even rules. Head-to-head does not have to matter.
They're guidelines. They're philosophies. They are things that we have printed on, you put it in the bathroom, you got live, laugh, love, and then you've got head-to-head competition.
In the office where it says teamwork and it's a cat batting at a thing of yarn.
Hey, you know what? I think that they're doing a great job. I'm grateful that one network controls the whole thing and gets to do all of this.
I'm glad that we're just hanging out here and we're going to do a reset before the audio side, because this is We are 16 minutes after noon, and we have yet to find a crumb of information that we can react to.
It's like the first 16 minutes of this show, and I don't know, the kids these days might not know what we're talking about, but is this like the hidden track of today's Cover 3 podcast episode?
Oh, yes. Like it'll only exist on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
What was Snap Call? What was the original hidden track that you remember finding and being like, whoa?
I don't know what the first one was. You would always know the last track of the CD. Why is this song for some reason 25 minutes long?
Do you know what it was? I think for me, it might've been the tape. I was all by myself. No one was looking, at the end of Green Day Dookie, there's a little hidden, there's a little hidden song at the very end of it. That's the first time a secret track blew my mind.
Whoa.
What?
Big 12 fined Kansas State and Iowa State $500,000 each for opting out of the bowl game.
Yep. Not happy about it.
Clearly, probably not enough to really disincentivize that behavior, but it's not nothing.
No, they're not happy about it. They don't want it to become a thing. But there you go. That's something we could talk about. Teams are just going to opt out of bowl games now. How much longer are those things really going to be around?
Oh, yeah. A postseason contraction, we're not far.
Will Iowa State get the same treatment that a single player who opted out used to get? Will we talk about how they're destroying the sport? Players used to catch a lot of crap for opting out of bowl games. Now programs are doing it. Well,
you had 2 off seasons of oh, sorry, we can't play in the bowl game.
Yeah.
I was not outraged enough one way or the other to try to keep track or take note, but I do remember a lot of very convenient. Oh no, our offensive line room's all sick. We're going to have to opt out.
The show just went to commercial. When they come back, will they be giving somebody the first ever ESPN College Football Playoff Peace Prize?
I don't know. What about both Ireland teams opting out? Is this going to be the end of the Ireland game?
Oh, wow. What if this is like a sleeper cell operation by the Irish to infiltrate American college football?
Do you know who's playing in Ireland
from the inside?
Do you know who's playing in Ireland next year?
It's Florida State and somebody.
It's Bill Belichick and Sonny Dykes.
Yeah, no, we're not going to Ireland again. Jesus.
Wait, so TCU and North Carolina are starting the season again? But this time in Ireland?
Yeah.
In Ireland, yeah.
TCU traded its Fort Worth game from the home and home. They're going to Ireland.
Can't wait. It's going to be a great week 0 game. Can't wait to talk about it.
Would you rather play in Ireland or Brazil?
I would rather play in Ireland, especially playing in August.
If I'm an 18-year-old boy, I'd rather play in Brazil.
Cosign.
If I'm a head coach, I do not want to take my team to Brazil.
What if you're the head coach of North Carolina Tar Heels and your interests are very similar to that of an 18-year-old boy?
Oh, man.
Bill Belichick getting a BBL for the game.
I especially with it being in August, Ireland in August is about as good as you're going to get Ireland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What?
I'm just laughing. Just thinking of like Bill Belichick hanging out in Brazil.
You can't spell Bill Belichick without BBL.
No, you cannot.
BILLBELICHICK. You know what letters are in there? BBL.
You know what you can't spell Bill Belichick without? Chick.
Yeah, NC State UVA going to be in Brazil. And I believe that one actually will be a conference game, unlike Virginia's loss to NC State during week 2 of this season.
Will the fact that it was in Brazil figure into the tiebreakers? Like, do head-to-head results in foreign countries, do they not count?
Okay. Oh my God. And now we've got another video package.
Oh God.
Okay. Danny is awake. Danny's on CBS Sports HQ right now.
Yeah.
For those wondering.
Doing the same thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Wait. Being held hostage by these criminals.
But we're having more fun because we don't tell that Brazil joke on HQ.
No, we don't.
I'm pretty sure.
And that is, again, this is the hidden track. If you're listening on the audio, sorry.
Yeah, you don't get that. They're going to have Dan Lanning on the show at 1:20. How about that?
Cool.
Our good friend Daniel joining the show.
Dan,
so check that out at cbssports.com.
So you guys want to talk about like other sports or anything?
All right, is Miami going to get Raiola, Sellers, or Levitt?
I'm going to say Raiola.
I'm going to say, I don't know. But, the chat needs a Santa Slayers update, which is more entertaining than this video package. We lost to South Orlando this morning by time limit. We actually we gave that number 1 seed a bit of a scare, put up a pretty good number of runs, and they just have like 3 more kids who can catch line drives than we do, which would be like 5 against 2. So,
also heard they were stealing signs.
Are we going?
Are we going? Oh, Indiana's number 1.
Oh God,
rigged. All right, who's going to be? Oh, now we're going to talk about the Hoosiers. Actually, you know what, Indiana, you deserve that. You get to
Congratulations, Indiana.
Get to spend a little time watching Fernando Mendoza. I was going to get back out there. I'm going to die for my brothers out there.
Your voice needs to be a little higher pitched.
I know.
You've got the right tone, wrong pitch.
Well, sometimes with an impression, I think that it's more about like the speech pattern than even getting the voice just right.
I
watched his BTN sitting on the desk. It was awesome. Fernando was on fire last night. Ooh, Ohio State at 2. I was wondering if we'd get Georgia up to the 2 spot. Buckeyes not punished. It's probably a good sign for Alabama.
I think so.
I think that's fair in a game that played out like extremely evenly.
13-10. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Turnover on downs, missed field goal. I haven't even gone through to like check your like post-game win expectancy or anything like that from that game.
It was about 70% Ohio State, and then it went to about 60% Indiana, and then it was creeping back towards 50, and then as soon as Ohio State missed the field goal, it jumped to like in the 90s for Indiana.
Oh, on the end game?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whereas in the SEC, it was very, very heavily one direction the entire time.
Yeah.
But if you looked at the success rate or post-game win expectancy or any of those stuff?
I looked at the success rate. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if it's like somewhat of an edge, Ohio State, but I don't think it's a huge edge.
Yeah. It's going to be like tiny Georgia at 3.
Kirby's going to be using that.
44% Indiana. John Ramey in the chat says so. I didn't have time to look this morning.
Yeah, 44%. That's within the coin flippy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think Kirby's
so if chalk holds, we're going to get set up for transfer via like bluest to the blue chip via bluest to the blue chip with Georgia, Ohio State, and Indiana, Texas Tech.
Yeah.
If chalk holds.
Ohio State. Wait, hold on. Oh,
Ohio
Texas
State's
Tech,
2.
Indiana,
the
Texas
2 blue bloods versus the 2 new bloods.
Yeah.
Yep.
The nouveau riche.
That's kind of fun. Top half of the bracket, new money. Bottom half of the bracket, old money.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, I can rock with that. See, here's the problem for Texas Tech, though. Oh, here we go. December 7th. Why don't we just go ahead and start a month of disrespect now? Indiana has a defense as good as Texas Tech's defense, and I don't know if Texas Tech has an offense as good as Indiana's offense.
You don't know that? Or are you being kind?
I'm being kind.
Okay. Yeah.
Such a Southern gentleman, this one.
It's like, yes, we can stack the chips up, defense and defense, absolutely. And then, kind of little dog, big muscle dog on when it comes to the offense.
I've always said defense wins first round buys.
So what? Oregon stays 5?
I assume so. Is that
Oregon at 5?
Let's get my cable feed's got to get through all this snow that dropped last night, so it's a little slower.
What's your temp there?
It's not too bad. It's 28 degrees. That's fine. It's the snow that sucks. Another 4 or 5 inches dropped on us overnight.
Do they do anything with Ole Miss here?
Just to avoid rematch? Yeah,
because if Bama's in, I think we get A&M Bama, which is a game we have not seen so far this year.
I don't know. That would be super fun. I
agree.
I would rather let Ole Miss and Tulane play again in favor of getting Texas A&M Alabama.
I think that's fairly unavoidable. Ole Miss Tulane, right? Unless they move Ole Miss. We talked last night. We think Tulane is probably locked at 11.
Yep. Ole Miss at 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tulane's locked at 11.
Yeah. I don't know how they would not be, and unless they just do some.
No.
They would have to jump Duke over both.
And Duke lost to Tulane. I mean, I know. Right. I know head to head.
Yeah, that's why they're locked. Yeah, we agree.
Yeah. So we talked about. I'm going to save that for when we start talking about first round games, because I've got some Oregon thoughts that I definitely want to make sure that we get out. You could argue on first glance, Oregon home game, Texas Tech in a quarterfinal. You could argue that's a nice little path. Ooh, okay, here we go. Texas A&M at 7. So Oklahoma 8.
Mm-hmm.
Or 9. It could be 9. You don't know. Probably 8, but you don't know. Come on, Chip. It's called drama.
So you avoid the A&M Notre Dame rematch as well. Okay. Just tucking this away for future modeling purposes. Like, do they avoid rematches when they can? They say no. I think yes.
Did you see Oklahoma 8? Did you see Cristobal's quote to Chris Budden?
Yes.
I feel like I'm in court defending a case that should have never been brought to court in the first place.
Yeah, I know. And if you hadn't lost to Louisville and SMU, it wouldn't have been.
I mean, literally one less interception.
Yeah. Also, and I'm not saying that to argue against Miami. I'm just saying all these coaches are suddenly just ignore what's behind the curtain. It's clear as day to us that we're the best. Okay.
By the way, there is no FanDuel leak. They put hypothetical game lines up that you can bet on, and then if the game doesn't happen, they just void and gives back to you. It's great marketing for them. It's great advertising. There's no way FanDuel had this 12 hours in advance and would if it was something they shouldn't have, they're not putting this up.
No.
Right? There's just no real upside to that. They just put up the most likely matchups based on entering the weekend. They had Ohio State, Indiana up for 6 weeks.
Yeah, they had multiple hypothetical conference championship games before those games were clinched.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Oregon. Let's see, Oregon, Oklahoma. There's a comment that there's no cold. Ooh, Alabama 9. We've got a rematch.
Yep, we do.
No, wait. Did they put Alabama 9, or were they just showing me last week's rankings?
No.
Okay, so Bama's in.
Bama's in at 9.
Bama's in.
All right, so
Tide.
the huge move on the prediction stuff about 10 minutes prior was right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Somebody had it.
Alabama at 9. A little bit higher than maybe we thought. But guess what? That means conference championship games are protected. Big takeaway.
Hey, is there a podcast out there that was telling you that was the case for the last 2 weeks by chance?
I don't know.
I feel like we were called idiots a lot for thinking that the last couple of weeks.
Notre Dame is in trouble here?
Maybe. We'll see.
No way. Because they're going to be next to each other?
Mm-hmm. Chip, they're literally back-to-back in the same room. For the first time, you can actually compare these guys.
It's just we were trying to compare them, but every week we'd get together. Notre Dame was standing over there. Miami was standing over there. We just couldn't figure it out.
Oh, man. Miami!
They put Miami in?
Miami! Oh, man! See you later. Please put Duke in, too. Oh, my God. Please put Duke in, too.
I think that means James Madison is in.
Yeah, I think that means James Madison is in.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Games still matter, I guess. Well, what do you know?
Back to back.
Can we just talk about that?
That's a good point. That's a really good point. If we want to encourage teams to schedule good games, winning them should matter.
Oh, yeah.
Miami was also better against the head-to-head, the common opponents.
That is such a dumb process, though.
Oh, ridiculous.
Well, we couldn't compare them because they weren't next to each other.
Good for them for getting out of their mistake that they made in the first week of putting Notre Dame too high.
Yeah. Because it was like at 10, then all of a sudden down at 10, 10 and 18, I think might have been their starting positions.
All right. So ACC gets one in.
Maybe two. I mean, if they're willing to throw out Notre Dame, they might be willing to throw out James Madison too. They might live dangerous.
Hey, you know what?
Maybe Kevin will finally answer my text now.
Oh, we'll hear.
Oh, yeah.
we'll hear. Also, Miami, Texas A&M, fun game.
Very fun.
Very fun game. Alabama, Oklahoma. Not fun game.
They should play that in South Bend. Just
the common opponent bowl.
I'm genuinely happy that the H-to-H mattered.
Yeah.
It should.
I know it should, but they were sending a signal all season long that it didn't.
It shouldn't matter overall else, but like when Miami looks just as good as Notre Dame,
when they're very comparable.
Yeah, and they're better against the same opponents. Like,
sorry, Irish fans, but it's hard to argue.
Hey, but listen, that Today Show appearance went great. You got a top 3 recruiting class. Tulane.
Can we show 11 and 12 now?
Tulane. All right, who's going to be 12?
Who's going to be 12? Come on.
Do you think Duke really has a shot?
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to put 2 ACC teams in.
Yeah, I don't. Now that Miami's in, I don't nearly as much, but I'm not going to rule it out because these guys, the members of this committee, they are forward thinking.
Yeah.
They are miles ahead of us. They see things like we're in 3D. These guys are in 4D, 5D. They're in all the Ds.
Do you think that there is a signal being sent? Tailgate is wondering, there's a signal to Notre Dame about joining a conference packed in here?
No.
Okay.
No, but who owns the broadcast rights to the ACC and the SEC?
James Madison.
All right.
There we go.
Cool.
Yep. That was the deal. Jim Phillips, PhD, MD, put that to work. Because you know what the real calculus was? If they did have to make some sort of bargain of like, what are you going to do? Miami does give you a better chance to win a game in the playoff.
Absolutely.
Last year the ACC went 0-2 in the college football playoff. So, yeah, you'd rather have Miami be able to get in. So, all right. Here's, as we said, we're going to hit a break, and then we will run through the top 12. James Madison, by the way, at 24. Notre Dame, first team out.
Yeah.
We will hit a break. We will come back and we will run through the rankings as they are, the biggest takeaways, and then preview the first round games. So coming up on the other side, taking an early look at the first round of the 2025-26 college football playoff and more. Next. Back here on the Cover 3 podcast where, yes, the college football playoff bracket is set. Indiana is your number 1 overall seed. Ohio State gets the 2. Georgia at the 3. Texas Tech at the 4. Oregon checking in as the highest ranked non-bye team in the bracket, that they will host a first round game as the 5 seed. Ole Miss, now led by Pete Golding, will get the same in Oxford. They are at the 6. Texas A&M at the 7. Oklahoma at the 8. If you don't have the bracket in front of you, here's the way it's going to look. Alabama is the 9 seed. No punishment for losing 28-7 to the Georgia Bulldogs. They will play in Norman in the 8-9 game. Then you've got the Miami Hurricanes at the 10 spot. They are able to jump ahead of Notre Dame after spending this entire process behind Notre Dame. They are at the 10 spot. They will play their first round game in College Station against Texas A&M. Then Tulane, the winners out of the American Athletic Conference, get the 11 seed. They are going to be on the road playing against Ole Miss, and the James Madison Dukes, winners of the Sun Belt Conference, 12-1 overall. They end up getting the 12 seed. They will begin their college football playoff out in Eugene. We are still live on youtube.com/cover3. If you're listening to this on the audio side later, that we appreciate you as well. And so during the process of this show, while we're hanging out, that if we get kickoff times and official dates, we will be sure to pass those along to you. As it stands right now, we have just only been given the teams that are involved. First team out, Notre Dame. Second team out, BYU. Thank you to Mikey for the quick assembly for all of this. So just to give a little hard reset, Bud Elliott, what is the number 1 lesson or takeaway from the committee's final ruling on the 2025 season?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I was thinking more ramifications. Like now you don't need to change the format because nobody is really all that mad about this as far as
Notre Dame
from a conference standpoint.
Oh, okay.
So I think if they just leave it at 12, nobody's going to like be really urgent. I know they extended the deadline to figure out what the plan is for next year if they want to go away from 12. No, I think they can just leave it at 12. Nobody with real juice from a conference standpoint is going to be like all up in arms about this.
That's a sharp takeaway. I like that. Tom, what about you?
I'm sorry, I was busy filling out my bracket. What was the question?
What is in your opinion, what's sort of like the big top level takeaway from what we've seen so far?
I am just further confirmation that none of the rankings matter before today.
Yeah, because
they're just good. They could, if Notre Dame was better than Miami all year, and then on a week where neither of them played, Miami suddenly became better than Notre Dame.
Like it's all for entertainment for the first 7 weeks, and then they decide yep.
I mean, we kind of always knew that, but this is just another kind of like check that box off.
Yeah, if they didn't tell us any of their weekly updates and they just gave us these rankings, we would be like, oh yeah, they were both.
That makes a ton of freaking sense.
That makes a ton of sense. They were both 10-2, and Miami won the head-to-head.
And also put this committee on the Mount Rushmore. They
preach, Tom, preach. You know, we talked all season long about the bravery and the confidence that you needed to have in your process. And thank goodness they had Wesley Walls in there.
Mm-hmm.
to be able to guide them. Thank goodness they had Mark D'Antonio to be able to make sure that they were able to not just bow or kowtow to the pressures of the outside. These were smart, tough decisions made by an excellent college football playoff selection committee. For those keeping track, that is 5 teams from the SEC in
so an average of 4 over the 2-year span. Everything balances out.
There's 1 team from the Big 12. That is 1 team from the ACC. That is 2 teams from the Group of 5. Do you think that the 2 teams from the Group of 5 will be a reason for people to call for adjustments?
Oh, I'm pretty sure
Yes.
Danny's screaming about it right now on HQ, but I would point out that the problem isn't that the G5 teams got in, it's that the ACC's best teams all sucked.
I think if you want more at-larges, as Greg Sankey does, I think you could probably push for in that room, hey, you need to be top 20 to get in automatically as a conference champion. How much pushback you'd really get from the power players?
I don't think you need to change the format just because Clemson and Florida State crap the bed. If Clemson and Florida State play to Clemson and Florida State's level and Miami plays to the same level, this is not a problem. You're only getting 1 G5 team in. The only reason you're getting 2 is because the ACC didn't hold its weight, period, point blank. You can blame everybody else if you want, but that's what it comes down to.
If 20% of your games are obvious blowouts going into them, that's an issue. One, I think they'll try to address.
And that would be JMU, Oregon, Tulane, Ole Miss.
Yeah. What's JMU, like 21 to Oregon?
But if Duke is in,
same thing. Duke would not be top 20. They should not be an auto in.
Okay, so if Florida State and Clemson didn't suck and one of them had been in, what would happen? The blowout would go away. Again, this is the ACC. Don't punish other leagues for the ACC blowing it.
Yeah, but Tom, I don't know how does that like disprove what you see what I'm saying? Like I feel like
there were blowouts last year, bud. There's blowouts every year. There was blowouts in the 4-team league. A quarter of the first round games in the 4-team were always a blowout too.
Yeah, but if everybody knows it's a blowout heading into it, that does like reduce interest in the game. And this is a business enterprise. I think they'll probably look to do something.
No, I hear you there, but I don't know. This is the only sport I know of to where we don't want to give everybody a chance. And it's just so hypocritical to me that everybody screamed about how we had to expand it to give more teams a chance. And now that we've done that, everybody's like, well, we can't give all these teams a chance. It only needs to be a select few.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of you have to be top 20.
Neither do I. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You don't think 20 is pretty fair?
No,
because you just keep them outside the top 20.
Yeah. Especially because any analysis of any top 20 ranking after the way that conference realignment has sort of like consolidated power is going to make it not. It's going to be exclusionary.
But like Tulane is 20 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They would be in.
Yeah.
UVA would have been in. They were 17th entering the week. I think
but
that's a
Tulane would have been in if it was 29. But that's my point. If you put it at 20, if you put it at 20, they just moved Tulane to 21, and then they get to put in Notre Dame.
They didn't do that in the 14 when the G5 had to be a top 16. Remember, they had that requirement in there.
Yeah, but it was only 4 teams, bud.
Sure, but they didn't rig it to where like they put the team 18th instead of 14th.
Once, when Cincinnati went undefeated, and then when it was like the 15th time that a G5 team finally had to do it to prove that they deserved to be in there. Like UCF didn't get in. They rigged that, didn't they?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's too easy to control. It's just you either have automatic qualifiers or you don't. If you don't want any, then just don't get rid of them all.
All right. Y'all ready to talk some games? Oh, last thing, Bud. We do have 2 rematches. So
maybe they don't care about rematches. Well, okay. Which of these rematches logically had to follow? Like they couldn't avoid it.
You could have moved Alabama down.
Okay. Yeah.
And you could have like maybe done a little switcheroo with Oregon and Ole Miss.
Could you? Well, but if you move Bama down, you're like, hey, we're going to draw such a distinction that Miami is now above Alabama, but Bama's still above Notre Dame. That almost like shocks the conscience as far as like credibility here, because it's like, wait, Miami was inactive, so now they're jumping Notre Dame and Bama.
I mean, you already did
like if you're Hunter Yurachek, that's a little hard to explain that one.
Well, you're already dropping Notre Dame.
Very impressed by what you saw in practice this week.
Yeah. You're already, but here's the thing, Bud. You're dropping Alabama, therefore causing them to be back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all rules go out the window when you're back-to-back. Everybody knows that. Yeah, I think that you could have made some tweaks if you really wanted to. The presence of both Tulane and JMU made it tough for them to do a lot of tweaking, right? If Virginia had won the ACC, then, well, not Virginia. I'm trying to think. If Miami had been in the ACC championship game and won, like if that Miami was the ACC champion Miami and not a ACC 5-way tie for second place Miami, then you could have maybe done a little bit of tweaking along the way. Even if Miami had just beaten Virginia, you could have slid some pieces around. So I think they probably don't care about rematches. Yeah. I don't know.
It might be like a preference, but like not like a driving principle.
Right. Like the college basketball tournament has bracketing rules. Mm-hmm. You cannot play a certain team until certain times in the tournament.
Yeah, they don't want conference games.
Yeah. Obviously that is not a part here of the college football playoff. That's just not where we're at. Okay.
Well, it's because, it's easier to do it when every conference is allowed to be part of the playoff.
All right, let's start breaking down these first round games. Alabama, Oklahoma. Bama. Ooh, let's actually get.
Also, for the FanDuel leakers, like 3 of those matchups were wrong, and they'll be voided. Like they didn't have. Yeah, that was not a thing.
Okay. CFP first round. They are up right now. None of the dates have been set there either. Okay, so let's do it in the way the bracket goes.
We're going to have a selection show on Tuesday for the dates.
FanDuel Sportsbook, where you can play your game. Alabama, 1.5 point favorite over Oklahoma, over under of 40.5. Again, we don't know the kickoff time or date specifically. We just know it will be in Norman. Let's go early read on this rematch in the first round.
I'm going Bama. They moved the ball up and down the field on Oklahoma last time. They just turned it over a bunch. I think they'll be fine.
I'm going to go Oklahoma. I think Alabama's playing like crap right now.
Oklahoma's offense been playing like crap for like 3 months.
Yeah, good point. I'm going to Alabama.
Let's go. No, I'm just kidding. But
it's a 1.5 point spread, folks. What matters is the total is 40.5. Under, yes. Alabama 8, Oklahoma 5. That's my score.
8-5.
What are going to be some of the keys to? I think I know the answer to this, but I want to at least like introduce it. What are going to be some of the keys for Alabama making sure they don't get beat again?
Don't turn the ball over.
There we go.
Don't turn the ball over. Like, be better in blitz pickup, and you'll come out of there with a win. Unless Oklahoma figures out offense, but they've had 14 weeks to do it and haven't been able to do so. But there's no guarantee Bama fixes this. I just think they are more fixable in 2 weeks than Oklahoma is. Like, OU showed no signs of life on offense the entire year.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. What about what would you want to see from Oregon in a first round matchup against JMU?
Nobody get hurt.
Do they do they rush these guys back?
Well,
no.
To play JMU?
No.
But you might want to get them some reps.
Yeah.
Like, if they're close to being ready to play, I do think you want to play them. Like, rust is a real thing. I don't know how you quantify it, but like, I think you want to get these guys some reps, even if it's on some package stuff.
What can JMU do?
We're gonna have to do 15 minutes on this game for a preview, guys.
Not right now. We don't have to.
No, I'm just thinking about this.
Can Oregon keep Alonzo Barnett in the pocket?
JMU's very creative on offense. I think Barnett is a nice player. Their offensive line was completely overwhelmed by Louisville. So, I mean, Louisville sacked him 6 times on 29 dropbacks. Troy really had their way with the James Madison offensive line too. So, can they block Oregon at all?
All right,
I think it probably looks like Liberty, Oregon from that Fiesta Bowl.
I think so too. We got some times and dates. Alabama, Oklahoma will be your Friday night game on December the 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern time from Norman. That looks chilly. Then our day.
You know what? If I'd have known that was an ABC game, I would have definitely said it would be the 8-9 game when you asked earlier who the Friday night game would be.
Then on December 20th, Saturday, we'll get started with Miami and Texas A&M, noon Eastern time in College Station. Middle of the day will be Tulane at Ole Miss for the 3:30 p.m. Eastern time kickoff. And then the primetime game on Saturday, the 20th, will be James Madison at Oregon. I think you had to figure the West Coast host was going to be getting that Saturday night game off the jump.
I tell you what, I am shocked that TNT is getting the games with Tulane and James Madison.
Selfishly here, yeah, Tom, excellent point. Selfishly here, as a show that has to go live after these games, I love that the 21.5 point spread is the night game, so we can get this thing rolling.
And also Alabama, Oregon. Alabama, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times are we going to go to commercial for a touchdown in Alabama, Oklahoma?
We got a nice 2-hour, 25-minute game coming our way on Friday night.
Hey, yo, we're going to watch America's game. What's the runtime on America's game going to be versus Alabama, Oklahoma? Spread of, 8.5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Then, as they, let me see, I can pull this back, and then I don't need to see your Check's face. And then, okay, so in the quarterfinal matchups, the New Year's Eve game. Oh, don't worry, Ohio State. You've never lost a game on New Year's Eve before of incredible significance. Ohio State will be playing in New Year's Eve in the Cotton Bowl. They will play the winner of Miami and Texas A&M. Then the day will get started on New Year's Day, noon Eastern time in the Orange Bowl. That is the Georgia-Florida State Memorial spot. That daytime Orange Bowl kickoff. Texas Tech playing host to the winner of Oregon and JMU. Of course, the sun setting over the mountains. Rose Bowl will be Indiana taking on the winner of Alabama and Oklahoma. That's a pretty fun game. You want to talk about the way you sell it? Our 13-0 Indiana Hoosiers against either Alabama or Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl. That rocks. I am excited about that game just in terms of the way that you can rope people in. And then we will close with tasty. We either have Georgia Ole Miss in New Orleans or Georgia Tulane in New Orleans.
Home field advantage.
I love that. I mean,
like that a lot. The Fiesta Bowl will be the semifinal game that is getting the winner of Ohio State and Georgia. That'll be on January the 8th. Then the Peach Bowl in Atlanta will get the winner of the Indiana-Texas Tech side of the bracket. Of course, national championship game, January 19th, 7:30 p.m. in Miami. Go ahead.
So Ohio State gets the Cotton?
Ohio State gets the Cotton on New Year's Eve.
That's kind of a jacked up thing there to send the 2 seed to a de facto road game if A&M beats Miami.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Georgia having to play against Ole Miss or Tulane. It's kind of a little roady. Georgia travels Well, here's the pushback. I already hear it. Ohio State travels everywhere. Georgia travels everywhere. They'll figure it out. But that is the building. What?
Urasek said it.
What?
Once we moved Miami ahead of BYU, we had the side-by-side comparison with Notre Dame that everyone had been hungry for.
That everybody had been hungry for?
Yeah. the one metric we had to fall back on then was the head-to-head. I love this.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh my God.
Jeez. What about Tulane Ole Miss? Matchup wise.
Feel like we've seen this before. It is interesting.
Ole Miss beat them by 35.
Yep, 45
the first game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not in Oxford this time.
I bet you it'll be closer.
Been some disarray, but there's also going to be a little bit of disarray on Tulane's side. So
we've also seen Georgia Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I need y'all to talk. I got to fill out this bracket.
Sorry. All right. Look, I mean, I think there's a little bit less certainty as far as Ole Miss Tulane. It's not likely that Tulane pulls the upset in that. In fact, it's pretty unlikely. But like, I mean, they're 6-1 as opposed to 11-1 for JMU Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Tulane, I think is a good bit better than JMU. Maybe not like, you know, they're not 10 points better, but if you made that on neutral, it's probably 6 points. Like that matters.
It's
home field's pretty big for all of these.
Yeah,
as far as like atmosphere, you know.
Like that's the one thing that was when we were discussing the Alabama-Oklahoma game. That was the one thing that kind of pushed me in Oklahoma's direction because it's like, you know, this isn't Norman. It is going to be crazy. It's a tough place to go in and win. It's just I don't have much faith in Oklahoma. But it's like you look at the other matchups, like Miami having to go to College Station could really tilt that game one way because that's not an easy place to play.
Is Miami the second best team A&M has faced so far this year?
I think you could make an argument for that.
Are they the best?
They did beat Notre Dame.
I mean, look, Texas A&M struggled with that Texas D line.
Mm-hmm.
So
Miami's is just as good. Like Notre Dame's D line is not special. Like it's good, but it's not like difference makers this year. So trying to like A&M had a really, really weak schedule in the SEC. It's kind of weird to say like they've run through the SEC and they've faced. This will be like the second, you know, full of pros D line they have faced, but I think that's true. Because they didn't play Oklahoma, they didn't play Georgia. Texas shut them down.
In 11 games against FBS competition, Marcel Reed threw 10 interceptions. In 8 games against SEC competition, Marcel Reed threw 9 interceptions. Now, Carson Beck comes with his own Surgeon's General warning. Feels like which quarterback going to screw up kind of game.
I would agree.
Because I mean, Cassius Howell's nasty.
Oh, he definitely is.
Yeah. Carson Howell.
So is Francis.
Right. Carson Beck does not handle pressure well. Well, guess what? Texas A&M, here's these pass rushers. Marcel Reed might get a little loose with the football, especially with 2 interceptions against that Texas team. Well, guess what? Here comes Ruben Bain, Akeem Messidor. Under?
What's the total? The total is 50.5. Oh, no, wait. No, 51.5. Why did they suddenly move the game? Oh, because now that the times are in, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So under Tulane team total under JMU team
Chip,
total.
we're not doing the locks pod yet, Chip.
Right off the rip. I think Miami can win that game.
I do too.
Do you take anything before we're going to have plenty of time to do big game breakdowns, X's and O's. Is there anything to be said for the mentality of Undertaker popping out? Oh my, we thought that we were on the edge and now we're back in. Is there anything to be said for a way that Miami can harness this opportunity and be able to whether it's like more focused during the meetings. I mean, this is a challenging time between now and December 20th to keep your team 100% locked in with everything that you need to do to be able to get there. So, do you take anything from the idea that Miami could see a benefit, at least from this opportunity?
Maybe, but I feel like that's an adrenaline rush that'll wear out pretty quick.
Before 13 days from now.
Or even if it goes into the game. Once the game starts, I don't think that kind of momentum, or whatever you want to phrase it, was going to do a whole lot for you.
Yeah. What do you think, Bud? What do you think, Bud? Bud Elliott?
Bud.
He muted us.
He muted us.
No, I was trying to find this clip, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, okay.
It's like, damn.
He's like, Colsey popped. We got high volume traders. Liquidity.
The mute button used to be his enemy. Now they've got an alliance. They're like forming against us.
All right. I think Miami wins that game. I trust Carson Beck more than I trust Marcel Reed.
All right, let's get through our official predictions. We'll all get to talk through our bracket. And before we get there, while we had a late night laugh about how Manny won the ACC before Mario did, Mario now has led Miami to its first ever college football playoff appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, how about this? This might be in a pun for the review. The Mario Cristobal era is already a success.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
4 years, 2 double-digit win seasons, and a college football playoff appearance.
And it's poetic and perfect in a way. It is #GoACC that the ACC champion did not make the field, but its third place team did.
That is a tied for second place team. Okay, Tom?
Not according to the tiebreakers. It's not. They broke that tie.
I think the ACC probably does need to make a little adjustment to the tiebreaker.
I would guarantee that gets changed before we get into next season. All right, coming up on the other side, our way too early look at the college football playoff with our expert picks and more. Next.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, we'll have plenty of time to fill out expert brackets. But how about one just as we saw the bracket get announced? Let's see, Tom, I'll let you get first dibs here. Give Mikey a second to get it lined up. Is this Tom Fornelli? All right. Oh, you're just going to talk it out. All right, Tom, let's hear it.
Well, let me get my HQ voice on here if we're going to be playing out the bracket. I've got Alabama winning in the first round over Oklahoma. We've talked about it. I felt like Alabama was the better team in that game. Oklahoma just ended up winning because Alabama kept screwing up. So Tide move on. In the second game there, this was a tough call. Spent a lot of time thinking about it, praying on it. I'm going to have Oregon take down James Madison, shocking the world. Ole Miss going to shock the world and beat Tulane. And then I've got A&M using that home field advantage to take out the Hurricanes in the first round.
All right, so then give me the next round.
Okay, so now we are on to the quarterfinals here. There we go. I've got, as you can see there, I've got Indiana ending Alabama season, Oregon taking down Texas Tech, Georgia beating Ole Miss again, and Ohio State ending the season for Texas A&M. And now you've got 3 Big Ten teams in your Final Four and 1 SEC team. I think Indiana beats Oregon again. Ohio State gets Georgia. And as I said on the show last night, I don't think last night's Big Ten championship was the only time we are going to see Indiana and Ohio State play this year. I've got Ohio State in the rematch. Your national champion, Ohio State Buckeyes. Congratulations, guys.
Bud?
So I've got Bama beating Oklahoma. Again, I just think they have a better chance to get right than Oklahoma does. Oregon over JMU, Ole Miss over Tulane, I've got Miami winning in College Station. As I say that scares the hell out of me, but all right. I've got Alabama going down to Indiana. Indiana taking care of business there. I agree with Tom. Oregon over Texas Tech. I've got Georgia over Ole Miss, and I have Ohio State over Miami. Actually, I have full strength Oregon taking down Indiana to go to the national championship game. I have Ohio State beating Georgia, and then I have Ohio State over Oregon in an all Big Ten national title game.
Woo!
Wait, Bud, hold on. I was just saw in the chat that since I'm a Big Ten homer, I think that 3 of the 4 Final Four will be Big Ten, and that the game will be 2 Big Ten. Now, are you a Big Ten homer now too?
The top 3 teams in the power ratings for most of the year have been Big Ten teams.
Is that true?
I think the SEC is a lot deeper. I just think the Big Ten is better at the top.
Wow. So I wasn't being a homer?
I mean, even FPI, which they tend to agree with you.
That's crazy. All right, here comes Chip. He's got Miami winning it all over James Madison.
So, yeah, Alabama, Oklahoma. I very much could see myself sway one way or the other. And guess what? Jam Miller, LT Overton. I don't know. We could take any number of the absences that led to Alabama's poor performance and go into, why that would or would not matter. For right now, I'm taking Alabama. Yes, Oregon over JMU. Didn't think too hard about that. Same with Ole Miss over Tulane. I am taking Miami to beat Texas A&M. Miami advancing to get against Ohio State. Miami and Ohio State in a high-stakes game. Have we ever seen that before? Yeah. So then it'll be Indiana against Alabama in the Rose Bowl. I think Indiana takes care of business. For Oregon, Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl, I don't know what that spread hypothetically could be, but that is very, very tricky for the Ducks to come from Eugene to South Florida on New Year's Eve, then wake up the next morning at noon, and Dan's going to have them locked in. They've got a good plan and everything, but I don't know. It's going to be the Focus Bowl for Oregon and Texas Tech there in Hard Rock Stadium early in the day. Ole Miss and Georgia, I'm not going to overthink that. We've seen that game once, and I do think that Georgia has gotten better since that game, especially on the defensive side of the ball, as Georgia has held every single opponent since November 1st to 21 points or less. And the only team that scored 21 was Mississippi State in a 41-21 blowout loss. So, yeah, Dogs defense showed out, but I think that's more what we've seen. I think they would have a good plan for Ole Miss. I've got the Dogs advancing. And here's where we're starting to get to the Ohio State of it all for me. I am going to buy Ryan Day's explanation. I'm going to buy what Ryan Day said about his team in the post-game press conference after the Big Ten championship game loss. Ryan Day said, I think walking off that field without a trophy is going to sit with this team. I think that there will be an impact on how this team approaches the college football playoff because of the way that game played out and the way that game ended. He did not want to, and I don't think he was trying to say that Ohio State lost focus or that they were cruising as they were the number 1 team in the country for the whole season. But man, he sure did indicate that that was a team that had not felt a lot of hurt, that was a team that had not experienced a lot of competitive pain, and that maybe that game would inspire a little bit more of an edge as they enter into the college football playoff. That's what has me thinking Ohio State is not in a position to get taken out there in the quarterfinal. It could be Miami. It could be Texas A&M. I'm picking Miami. I will tell you, I will take Ohio State to win its first quarterfinal game, its first playoff game of this season against whoever ends up getting there to the Cotton Bowl. Then Indiana and Oregon. This is a really interesting one because snap call, we're just writing it down. And do you know what was my tiebreaker? 2 coordinators that are going to be head coaches somewhere else in power conferences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If Oregon had no coaching changes and a healthy roster, I'm taking Oregon to win the rematch. But this thing is decided at the margins. And we're talking about a game in the semifinals that's going to be happening on January the 8th or January the 9th. It is impossible to think that Will Stein and Tosh Lupoy aren't also working on binders of what the winter workout plan is going to be. It's a lot to be able to handle. And so at the margins, I do think Indiana gets a second win against the Ducks Georgia and Ohio State, an absolute banger. I'm going Buckeyes, but you could talk me into Georgia winning that one as well. But then I will go with the Buckeyes. Then to be able to get revenge in a second meeting with Indiana, I've got Ohio State as my national champion.
You know how I know Indiana has arrived as a football powerhouse?
Why?
Filthy Animals in the chat. Despite the fact that 2 of the 3 of us have Indiana in the title game, and all 3 of us have Indiana beating freaking Alabama in a college football playoff game, wants to know why we still doubt Indiana. That's how you know they've arrived.
Absolutely.
You've only got us getting to the title game and taking out Alabama? You guys don't believe in us.
Would you have Notre Dame over Oklahoma or Miami or A&M? Or sorry, Notre Dame over Oklahoma or Notre Dame over A&M had they been in one of those 2, 9 or 10 spots?
It's a great question. I would have taken Notre Dame over Oklahoma. If it was Texas A&M, I probably would take Notre Dame. Yeah.
I don't think I would take them in College Station. I think A&M would block them easily again.
Okay.
My power ratings would have them favored over Oklahoma in Oklahoma. It would be pretty clear. It'd be kind of a coin flip in College Station.
Yeah.
Yep. Tough scene for the Fighting Irish. We'll see. We'll see if it leads to any changes, any expansion, any changes in the format. But honestly, gentlemen, and I do mean this honestly, we've got a bracket. Let's go play the game. Let's do
this thing.
Let's not think about the selection committee. Let's think about these matchups. We're fired up. Later in the day, by the way, we're going to be finding out the bowl locations for the rest of the postseason. We will give a more detailed summary of some of our favorite bowl games as part of Monday's Upon Further Review. A lot to be able to unpack there. We'll get to hear from Danny Kanell, who is, let's see, is he still just chopping it up on, ooh, Danny's got Oregon winning the national championship.
Ooh. So I do think we can give people a couple bowl things logically that follow.
Oh.
Right. So I think Notre Dame will get the Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando.
Okay.
And then I think Texas, Michigan could be the Citrus, which is like a really nice matchup for us here.
Cool.
It's not official, just like trying to like follow wherever, like wherever you said, like where the tie-ins are, you know, who finished where.
Reminder over on CBSSports.com, we've got our Bowls live blog led by bowl expert Brad Crawford and the rest of the team there. I know he was talking all about the puzzle pieces, even like on a possession by possession basis. Like if you want to know how in it he is, it was like the Brad-o-meter was swinging one way or the other. It was like, oh, Fighting Irish to the Citrus. Oh, no, Fighting Irish back in the playoff. Oh, no, Fighting Irish in the Citrus. Oh, no, now they're in the playoff. Like it was incredibly detailed and thorough. That he'll be putting all the pieces of the puzzle together over on CBSSports.com. So go and check that out. Again, we will be back here live at youtube.com/cover3 on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time upon further review from championship weekend, upon further review from the final selection show and a bowl game look ahead, all the fun that we've got in store for you. The postseason is here. Looking forward to breaking it all down with everybody in the tailgate and rocking it all the way through the national championship game. And you can follow him on Twitter at Tom Fornelli. You can follow him at Bud Elliott 3. You can follow me at Chip _Patterson. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here you go.